Apple's latest developer conference is underway and they just announced all of their brand new features coming to their devices later this year. This might be one of the craziest sets of announcements they've made in years, and it's almost 2 hours long. Not to worry though, I'm here to break it down for you. This WWDC launch was probably one of the most bonkers things Apple have put together in a long while. I'm talking about Craig's hair helmet, Magic Mike moves, Jedi powers, and a really elaborate parkour sequence. Plus, they left Tim Cook on his own on the roof for a good portion of the presentation. But if we cut through all the madness, let's focus in on perhaps the biggest set of announcements they made. Apple did announce some things for their other platforms such as Vision OS, Apple TV OS, and their HomeKit, but the really big stuff that's coming relates to their flagship computers, tablets, and phones. I'm going to steer clear of all the device-specific stuff and focus on Apple Intelligence. This is Apple finally showing their hand in the AI game, and as usual, they are late to the party with Google and Microsoft already well into AI integration. But as usual, Apple had some fireworks to show off. Here are the 5 things that impressed me the most. In at number 5, we have calculator on an iPad. No, seriously, it's taken 14 years and it was becoming a bit of a running joke that a native calculator app didn't exist yet, but man, this looks like it's going to be well worth the wait. Now, this wasn't part of the AI segment, but it clearly uses some generative AI features. So obviously, it's a working calculator, but because it's an iPad, you can sketch your calculations and the device will still give you the answers by reading your handwriting. It'll also do really complicated stuff like being able to draw out graphs, to calculate logarithms, and if you change a variable, the result changes dynamically too. I just can't wait to try this out. Also, side note, when they mentioned iPads, they put an image of the Mini on screen, so I'm feeling a bit more optimistic about the Mini surviving this year. For now. Next up, image generation on a device. Now, Apple showed us that you can produce unique AI-generated images based on real pictures of people that exist in your Photos app. So if you want to send your friend a happy birthday picture, you get a unique AI version of them with a birthday cake. Cool or creepy, you decide. It'll also generate custom emoji for you, so you don't have to search for the perfect emoji anymore. You just tell it what you want and it'll make it. And there's this whole thing called Image Playground where you don't even have to think about crafting the perfect prompt for a generative AI system. You just build it like a pizza with all the components that you want, and then the device will generate the image for you. Very cool and very Apple. But there's more. You can just sketch out a rough draft of an image like this Indian pavilion. You can hit this AI magic wand tool and it'll make an image from that, or even from completely white, empty space based on the notes and context around it. Some of this looked pretty magical, I'm not gonna lie. Next up, Siri.
Siri users make 1.5 billion voice requests every single day.
Yeah, I bet at least 1 billion of those are from one person saying the same thing a billion times because Siri is currently too dumb to understand what's being asked. Well, Siri is getting a massive upgrade. It's been long overdue, but it even gets a snazzy new icon and a massive intelligence boost. Well, Siri now understands context, so you can ask it stuff using natural language that follows your train of thought, even if it's not fully formed yet. And you can also type to Siri rather than having to always say something out loud. Number 2 is ChatGPT integration. Now, Apple were very proud to present that they're using OpenAI's latest model, ChatGPT 4.0, to make a lot of this possible, which is great. And it means you don't even need an OpenAI account to make it work. It all happens on your device. And if you're a paid ChatGPT Pro user, you can bake all of this into your device too, turning your phone into an incredibly intelligent machine. Now, one of the best things here is that Apple were very keen to promote that they are upholding their usual high standards in terms of privacy and security, so that even they can't see the information you're sharing, even when it needs to go to a wider data bank to get you your answer. And finally, at number 1, it's got to be the sheer amount of summarizing that all of this is going to offer. So as an example, notifications are a bit of a mess, but in this release, your iPhone will be able to summarize notifications for you rather than just report on what they are, and intelligently understand which ones you absolutely need to see if you're concentrating on something and you've got your notifications switched off. It can also summarize message chains so that you can report back on group chats if you've been away for a few days, and it'll automatically record any calls you receive and summarize those for you after you've finished. It'll also help write emails and summarize documents and notes. I love this feature where you can ask it to summarize an email before you send it, and it'll do you an automatic TLDR line for your readers. Really cool. And then look at this. If you're in a meeting or a classroom environment, Apple Notes will sit and record what's happening and give you a summary right there for you in the note. Look out, good notes. This might finally make Apple Notes the killer note-taking app to beat. Folks, these were some of the things that jumped out for me. What are you most excited to try out when it comes to some of these new AI features from Apple? Let me know down in the comments. It's worth noting that Apple Intelligence is coming to all devices running an M series chip or the A17 chip or later. So that's basically any Mac from 2020 onwards, most iPad Pros from 2021 onwards, or the iPhone 15 Pro or later. If that's you, you're going to be getting all of this stuff in a free software update later this year. And in the meantime, if you want to know what I think Apple absolutely need to do to fix this enormous iPad problem they've created, I've put together not one, but 3 winning ideas over here when you're ready. See you next time.